Hi, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for watching. Things have been a little bit crazy in my world, so I'm sure that with us approaching the half of the year mark for 2024, that things are probably a little bit crazy for you guys as well. I wanted to bring you a video on how I was able to save so much money when I was on a low income, because it wasn't just a one-off experience. There were a bunch of different things that I needed to do in order to achieve this. And I know in my first video, I talked about prioritizing on assets instead of liabilities type of things. A lot of people say that you shouldn't focus on low spending in order to save money, but that you should focus on getting your income up. It's not always possible for the everyday person. It wasn't possible for me years ago when I started this journey. And so I focused on lowering my spending. And I know a lot of people try to focus on that, and that's a good start. You really, in all honesty, should be doing whatever is accessible to you in that moment, right? Within reason, obviously, within the legal grounds of life. If what is available to you is to lower your spending, then this is the video for you, because this is what I focused on that helped me save my first $7,000 and $10,000 while I was making literally $40,000 a year gross. So here's what I did. If you're into this video, please like, share, leave a comment at the end if you have any other suggestions, and I will get right into this video. So this is gonna be broken up into different categories of things that I cut out in order to save more money. So when it comes to food, non-commercial grocery stores, food places, food banks, if you qualify, this is how I cut my spending on food. You've got Aldi, right? That's the most commercial place that I shopped at when I was going through my low spend, no spend era. Other things were foreign markets, bodegas, farmers markets. I did not buy name brand foods, right? So there's no non-great value, right? If you're shopping at Walmart, again, Aldi is going to be your best friend. If you have access to one, that's where I would go. Even now, with inflation being so high, that's one of the only places besides Trader Joe's where it's not like skyrocketing their grocery prices. So honestly, if you have a hard time not reaching for name brand foods, Aldi is your best bet, because that whole store is just not name brand. For me, snacks are apples, oranges, maybe grapes, whatever is in season that will help you keep the prices low, right? Just be mindful of when things are and are not in season, because that will help you save the most money. I also regrew some of my food. So there's a list of foods and herbs that you can regrow so that you never have to buy them again. You can also do this in an apartment. I've never owned property. I've never had a yard. This is all apartment regrowing. You can grow it in a pot. You can grow it in a mason jar. Here are some of the things that I regrew so that I never had to buy them again. Onions and green onions, leeks. You can regrow lettuce, different herbs. Keep a lookout for things that you have around your house. Put things that you eat, such as green onions, like I said, cut it up to where the little stem is and put that stem in some water and it will regrow. Please do not throw away your scraps, because you can regrow this food. I also limit my time in restaurants, right? So I don't always go out to eat when I know that I cannot afford it. And when I do go out to eat, I'm not getting entrees. I'm not getting the app entree and dessert trio. I am getting just appetizers, just an entree, or just a dessert. We're not having full restaurant meals here. We're also eating before going to the restaurant if you still really crave that social aspect. I also don't drink alcohol, which is a huge, huge help. And when it comes to coffee, this is my big thing, because I don't drink alcohol, but I live off of coffee. So how did I lower my coffee bill? First of all, no Starbucks, right? No Starbucks. Low key, no Dunkin' either. None of those. The big conglomerate brands, the franchises, we're not going to those. We're going to local coffee spots, local, and we're buying in bulk, right? So what did I do? I got a coffee grinder, which is super cheap, and it's plug-inable. It's not battery operated. And I got a French press, right? Those two things together cost me $30. Reusable. I would go to my local coffee shop, I would buy their beans, and honestly, if you don't have a coffee grinder, you can even have some of these places grind your coffee for you so that you can just put it in the French press. It's not the freshest, right? It's not the freshest when you have them grind it for you. You obviously, if you're a coffee snob like me, you want to grind your beans right before you brew, right? But it's the best way to save money and to do less. If you don't want to buy a coffee grinder, have them grind your coffee. You have to tell them to grind it coarse so that it's good for the French press and you're good to go. Coffee bags on average, when I was living alone, lasted me a long time, like a month and a half. And I drink coffee every single day. That will be your biggest money saver. Do you know how much coffee costs a day? And I know people hate that whole like, oh, don't buy Starbucks to get rich. This isn't to get rich. This is to save dough, okay? This is a tried and true way that I use in order to save $7,000 in 1 year while working a toxic job and only making $40,000 a year, was to do the reusable coffee. I'm not saying don't buy coffee, buy it in bulk. Buy it in bulk. The 1 cup for $7, we're not doing that in 2024. We're saving money in 2024. When I was finally able to move up, when I was finally able to make more money, I invested in a better coffee maker. Like the one that I have currently is the Breville Bambino Plus, which is the cheaper of the few options of Breville that you can find at SOLIGT or Amazon. And I got mine for, it was around $550. There are some that have coffee grinders attached that are like $800 and $1,000. Even to this day, I can be a millionaire and I probably wouldn't spend that much on a coffee maker, but I needed one to where it tasted good so that I wasn't tempted to go to a coffee shop, because even the local ones, I mean, it still adds up if you're buying 1 coffee a day, right? Whereas with Breville, with the one that I have now, I make a coffee in the morning. And I bought these beans literally a month and a half ago. It is so easy, super fast, and it's just, it tastes good. It tastes like you're going to a cafe. So definitely look into getting a French press if you want to make your own coffee on a budget, or a Breville if you have enough saved for this this investment, because that's what it is. And trust me, when you have that first sip of coffee from your Breville or your French press, you're going to be so glad. You're going to be so glad that you chose to go this route. When it comes to fashion and style, this is a big one, right? Do your own hair. The prices these days are crazy, right? Learn how to braid. If you don't know how to cornrow, learn how to box braid. Learn how to do twists. I know you're not probably a big fan of this hairstyle, right? But it helps your hair grow, right? It helps your hair stay moisturized. It's not like the big pretty braided styles that you see on Instagram, but it saves a lot of money. I have never paid to get my hair done. There are some hairstyles that cost upwards of $500 just for you to sit in a chair, start late, and then it lasts at most, 3 weeks? It's not worth it. I'm sorry. Just learn a few styles, right? Learn a few styles and you will be good. Also, for clothing, thrift stores, right? Go to thrift store. We don't need the Aritzia sweater and leggings combo, right? We don't need to go to Lululemon for our workout clothing. Thrift stores are your friend, rare finds, and just more personality in those clothes. Also, try to work on having a capsule wardrobe. If you have a capsule wardrobe, it's basically like a small collection of basics that can go with basically anything, and then a few statement pieces that you can switch around so that your outfits do look different and it looks classy and well kept and just very clean. And I think if you focus your money on actual good quality pieces, but you have a capsule wardrobe, you will thank yourself later, because these pieces last for years. They're lasting way longer than your Forever 21s, your Sheins, and it just gives you a timeless look. For shoes, I only get a pair of shoes that I know that I will be using. So for some people, they have hundreds of shoes, they collect shoes, they upgrade every year. I don't suggest that if you're trying to save money and you're on a low income. But what I did do, because I had more than 1 pair of shoes, I think I had about 5 pair of shoes, and they were all for practical uses. So I had my casual / everyday shoes, things that I would go to the store in, go to school in, go to work in. I had my work shoes if the Monday through Thursday business professional days. I had dress shoes for special occasions. And then I had rain boots because when I was going through this, I was living in Chicago, right? And it rains a lot in Chicago. There are times where it rains for days on end, snow boots. So all of these have uses, right? They all have uses. I don't have like a collection of Jordans. I don't have Louboutins, red bottom shoes. I don't have any of those. Just nice, cute, practical shoes. I got them from DSW. So obviously, if you have access to DSW, I would definitely suggest going over there. They have everything. They have literally all of those type of shoes in there, and they're all at a discount, and they're good quality, honestly. If you don't have access to a DSW, maybe a Nordstrom rack. They also have a lot of things. They're cheaper than Nordstrom itself. And yeah, if you're not comfortable with secondhand shoes or with thrifting shoes, I would definitely say DSW and Nordstrom Rack are your best bets. And leave some comments below if you have any other suggestions on where you would get shoes if you were trying to get them on a budget. Now, when it comes to phone and cable, streaming services are my best friend. Choose one or two to fill in the gaps. And then the rest, honestly, I would ignore. So the ones that I like to focus on are YouTube. I don't pay for it. I have free YouTube. So yes, I get ads. Crunchyroll for my anime fix. And then Netflix for my movies and other Netflix originals. It's honestly, password sharing, I'm not against it, right? Do what you got to do. Yeah, I do not pay for cable. I don't pay for the Sunday ticket for football, things like that. I don't pay for it just because cable has too many commercials anyway, like more than YouTube. And it's super annoying. You watch 2 minutes of a show and then 5 minutes of commercial every few minutes, and it's annoying, right? So it's hard to get through a show when it's not being streamed, and cable is so expensive. It's like hundreds of dollars. If you can get a bundle with your internet that's less than $100, maybe you could go that route. But honestly, I haven't had cable since I was in high school, and I'm 31 now, and I'm doing just fine. So if you can get rid of cable and focus on streaming, I would definitely suggest that. When it comes to phones, I am a huge no contract girly. Before I got married, I was on T-Mobile's no contract plan. I was grandfathered in because my mom had it for a long time. And every year I would call and be like, hey, my bill is too high. I really would like to stay with, your company. Could you give me a better deal? They work with you to lower your bill. My bill before I got on my husband's family plan was $40 a month. And that was with unlimited data, good Wi-Fi, 5G, all of that good stuff. Cricket Wireless, Mint Mobile. People use a lot of those as well. I can't personally vouch for those because I have not used those, but I have heard people say that the $15 a month Cricket Wireless works just as well as everything else. Do you get free upgrades with iPhones? No, but you get to save money and you get to put that towards what's the most important at this time, which is probably saving if you're watching this video. Okay, so when it comes to fun, this one for me was the easiest because people like to go to brunch. They like to go to clubs, to bars. I don't mind brunching. I do that sometimes, but I'm more of an outdoorsy person. So I would say that the easiest way to save money is to find people who have similar interests to you. If you are outdoorsy, definitely focus on going on walks, going on hikes, riding a bike, joining a running club, and then you get to know people that way. You guys have meetups and you make friends that way, which is super cool. And it's a lot cheaper than, going to brunch every weekend and spending $80 every weekend, right? So I think having an open mind will definitely help if you are looking to save some money. I know that you don't always want to, sometimes you just want to go to a restaurant and have a good time. And I think that's valid and fair, right? But if you were really wanting to save money on a low income, then there are some things that you're going to have to go without. And that choice is up to you. So I also prioritized destination fun. So for me, that's traveling. That's one thing that I will always spend money on is travel, because it prioritizes saving for you. It gives you something to save for, something to look forward to. And then when you get there, you get to use your sinking fund that you've been saving up for this trip sometimes for months on end. You get to use that and you don't even have to worry about if you have enough for rent because you've been saving. It also helps you focus on experience versus material things. Like, I know my first vacation that I ever took outside of my childhood home was to Miami, and I still hold that very special because I saved a lot for it. And just being able to do that without like the help of my parents, it was really cool. It was a good experience, and I still remember everything that I did when I went to Miami for the first time, and I just wouldn't trade that experience or those memories for anything. So definitely look into maybe more destination type fun. It also helps you practice with delayed gratitude, which is super important if you're wanting to save money. So in conclusion, those are the things that I focused on in order to save my first 5 figures while making a low income. And honestly, would I do it again? Of course I would. These are the basics, right? So if I had to start all over again, this is what I would be doing in order to build up my emergency fund and to get a good footing for my financial journey. So I really hope you guys found this helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please leave a comment. Let me know how you save money when you're in a pinch or when you need to reach a certain financial goal. And I look forward to seeing your comments down below and having a discussion with you down there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.